As we kick off the course here, let's talk just a little bit together here about the A+ exams that you're getting prepared for. Now, to achieve CompTIA's A+ certification, you're going to be required to pass 2 exams. The first one is the 220-801 exam. You'll often hear this referred to as the, quote, hardware exam. CompTIA doesn't call it the hardware exam. They used to, they don't anymore, but the name's kind of stuck and everybody calls it that because that exam tends to focus more on the hardware portion of the computer. And most people generally take 220-801 first. You don't have to, but that's what most people do. 220-802 is the second exam you'll have to pass. This is often referred to as the operating system exam. It tends to focus more on operating system functionalities, and quite often you'll see the questions are coming from a troubleshooting standpoint. 220-802 is the exam that we're going to be focusing on in this course. So let's talk about the exam structure. You're going to get 90 questions, and these are going to be generally simple multiple choice questions. You could see some click on the picture, click on the diagram type situations. I've seen some drag and drop stuff on A+ exams before, so very simple, very straightforward. Your questions are practical, generally single subject questions. There's not a lot of misdirection in these questions. The questions aren't half a page long like you'll see on some Cisco exams or Microsoft exams. Pretty straightforward. They're just checking to see, do you understand the implications of whatever they're asking? Keep in mind, there's very little history involved in the questions. They're pretty much going to ask you straightforward questions about the operating systems, the hardware that are listed on those objective sheets. Now, different groups of questions will appear on different exams. So don't get the idea that because the buddy went Monday and passed, that you can just kind of get a brain dump from them about what questions they saw, study those and pass, in a week and a half later. There's different groups of questions that will appear on different exams. There's 2 problems with trying to get questions from somebody else. Number 1, you want to make sure when you pass this A+ exam, you've passed it because you know the material. Because the first day on the job as an A+ certified tech, you're going to be expected to understand certain things about a computer. And if you've memorized questions to pass, you're probably going to put yourself, your employer, and the poor person you're trying to help all in a tough spot. Second thing is you probably will not pass the exam trying to do something like that because there's such a different mix of questions from exam to exam. So be very careful with that. Now, the exams are testing for your understanding of concepts and general PC knowledge. They're not going to go very deep on any topic, but they do expect you to understand the concepts and how the different technologies fit together. So how do you go about preparing for these exams? Probably the best way is refer to CompTIA's A+ certification exam objectives. Now, I would have just simply put those out there for you. However, they'll update them from time to time, so really you need to get the latest version, and you can get these by going to www.comptia.org and just do a search when you get there for A+ objectives. And you'll find a page where you'll have to put in a username, an email address, and a little bit of information. They don't fill up your inbox with a lot of ads and stuff. Put that in, and then you can check which objectives you want, and you can download a PDF file. I want you to notice 2 things about that list of objectives. You will not see all these topics on your exam. This is just kind of the pool that they can choose from. The next thing, if you read on that actual objective sheet, they point out this list of objectives is not complete. You could see questions about things not listed there. So thinking, well, that's going to make it kind of tough if I don't know what to prepare for. Trust me, if you get hands-on experience with the topics listed, and we're going to cover the vast majority of those. Now, if you look at the outline, or if you go through this course, you may not see each one of those topics in the titles of different videos in the course here. Trust me, we're covering those within the videos, and we're going to cover enough topics here that if you get comfortable with this information, you can pass the A+ exam. Just make sure you understand how and why something works. This isn't just memorization. What do you stick in a computer to make the display work? Display card. You're not going to see a question like that. They want to know that you understand how and why display cards work, how they're configured, and that sort of thing. That is a little bit of information about the A+ exams.